Paying it back, 1.5 trillion, that's the plan. Reduce the deficit. The deficit means you spend too much money, don't bring enough money in. Tory solution, make cuts. I think we just need to start making some more fucking money. All these billionaire psychos putting their taxis into the Cayman Islands. They tell you that as if the money's irretrievable. Fucking invade the Cayman Islands. Get it back. What the fuck are the Cayman Islands going to do about it? Instead of getting after disabled people and fucking single parents, that takes balls, doesn't it? That takes balls. George Osborne, Ian Duncan Smith. Going through disabled people's doors, this is your fucking fault, mate. You. We could go after tax-avoiding multinationals. We could go after Vodafone, Starbucks, Amazon, Google, Gary Barlow, but it's your fucking fault. You. You're going back to work, mate. We don't give a fuck how disabled you are. Or you're paralysed from the neck down. We don't give a fuck, mate. There'll be a farm out there looking for a scarecrow. Fucking get to it. Couple of people checking for the offside flag on that joke there. Maybe an extreme example, but that's their ideal world. Cutting benefits, and people fall for it. People believe it. I hear folk moaning. I hear them. See them on Facebook. And you discover through Facebook you hate your own fucking aunties. Reading their shite. I have worked my whole life, and I've worked 2 jobs since I've been 12 years old, and I think it's a disgrace that these people are sitting on their fat arses. They're spending their dole checks on alcohol and cigarettes. It's a darn right disgrace. You're missing the point, man. They're spending it on alcohol and cigarettes. Highly taxable goods. The country's getting it back. These people are reinvesting. These people are the heroes in this mess. It's not poor people spending, it's fucking rich people saving. That's the problem. The money's there. Just need to get it to people that will fucking spend it. I would put the dole up. I would make the dole $1,000 a week. That's how you kickstart an economy. Every bit of it would get spent. You see it on Black Friday. That's poor people. Imagine them on £1,000 a week. The country would be fucking bouncing. Not 1 penny going offshore or into your savings account. Let's get fucking tattoos, man. People arriving at the job centre in taxis to sign on. Just keep your meter running, my man. I'll be 5 minutes. That's the dole up to $1,000 a week, Denise. You still wanting your tits done? I will get the hot tub. Aye, fuck it, why not? $1,000 a week. I've made a bit of dosh, thanks to you people. I've fucking moved on. I've made some cash. I'm on the property ladder. That's what I've done. Bought a house. I bought a house off a neurologist. That builds a inferiority complex. I'm showing up by his gaff in a fucking super dry hoodie. Guys gave me the tour. Showing me his PhD. That's nice, mate. We'll get that done, get that painting and the dogs playing poker up there. That'll be nice. I grew up in a council house. I grew up in Clydebank. Got a people know that. Famous place. Famous for wet, wet, wet. Marty Pello. He's the only guy who ever left Clydebank to become a heroin addict. But I'm in the West End. I'm in the nice bit of the city. I'm living with the great and the good, and it's where I live. I've been there for a few years, but it's never quite become my bit. I mean, you've got where you stay, and you've got your bit. Right? That makes sense. There's where you live, and there's your bit. It's not quite my bit. I don't know if it'll ever become my bit. I see I see the kids whose bit it is. I hear them shouting on each other. Sebastian. Sebastian, we're over here, Sebastian. I hear a name like Sebastian. I'm hoping to look up and see a Dalmatian. No, this wee fucking guy. Sebastian making his grand entrance with his purple blazer on, his perm wafting in the wind, a cello on his back. They call me Mr. Bridges, the kids in my street. I don't feel intimidated physically. I feel intellectually intimidated by the gangs of youth in my street. Mr. Bridges, how are we? How are we, Mr. Bridges? Oh. Well, the family and I sat down to one of your performances on the television over the festive period, Mr. Bridges. A tad coarse in places. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't allow myself a chuckle, Mr. Bridges. A wee guy, I'm at my fucking depth trying to talk to him. I'm having to raise my game to talk to a 10-year-old. I can't have a normal older guy to a wee guy conversation. Who's the best fighter in your school then, Sebastian? Well, I'm the chair of the school debating team, Mr. Bridges. There have been a few heated exchanges, but we've not quite come to blows yet. His wee pals beside him, fucking de-seeding a pomegranate with his fruit knife. Yes. I still wear trainers and stuff. I never knew that was frowned upon, wearing sports gear, unless you're off to participate in a sporting activity. I still wear shorts, trainers, any excuse. I've got a neighbour, he always looks at me. He's always looking me up and down. He's always going, off to the gym, Kevin, off to the gym. I said, mate, why do you always ask me if I'm off to the gym? Well, just when I've seen your trainers there and your sports top. Off to the gym? No, I'm off to the garage to buy a Whisper, mate. It's not... It's not a fucking black tie event, mate. I try and blend in. I'm quite a friendly guy. I've got a dog, for example, right? That's how you get to know your new neighbours, right? You become part of your local dogging community. I get a dog, right? That's your buddy. I get a dog. And you get in the park, dogs there. Other dogs come over, start to play with your dog. You pat the other dog and you get talking to the owner. Quite a sociable experience, right? I'm in the park. My dog's there. Another dog came over, began to play with my dog, began sniffing my dog's arse and sniffing away. Having a fucking great time. I'm patting the other dog. And I said, and who's this? That's dog walker talk for what is your dog's name? That's how you strike up a bit of chat. I said, and who's this? And the guy goes, well, this is Diego. And I thought, oh, naming the dog after Diego Maradona, mate. That will explain the sniffing then, right? I thought that was the ideal thing to say. Fucking hilarious. I've got a voice in my head going, superb, Kev. An exemplary piece of patter. This'll be your bit in no time, Kev. I'm asking his dog for the paw of God, thinking this guy is going to spread the word. Oh yeah, I met Kevin Bridges in the park. The guy's funny as fuck, even off duty. The man's a scream. But the guy said no. He said, no, he's not named after Diego Maradona. We named him after Diego Rivera, the post-impressionist 19th century Mexican protest painter. This was a game changer. I had fucking nothing for the guy. Wow, I looked him right in the eye. I cannot believe you've just done that to me, mate. I don't know what to say. I've never felt so homesick. A voice in my head going, this is not your bit, Kev. Go home. You don't belong here. You're a fucking fraud. The sniffing patter, that might cut it down your bit. This is the upper echelons of society. Think you're going to get away with that up here? Even his dog is looking at your dog as if my dad just fucking clamped your dad. I was at a Christian rock festival. Never meant to be there. Christian rock festival. I was just passing through the Christian Celebration Festival. There was a stall set up that said, a free toastie for all of God's children. A free toastie. So I thought, sham on. I said, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. May I have a toastie? And the guy said, are you a Christian? And I thought, well, if I'm not a Christian, am I not getting a toastie? That's very un-Christian. And the guy crumbled under the weight of my argument. And he said, okay, you can have cheese or cheese and ham. And I said, just cheese, mate, because I'm a Jew. That's how you get a free toastie off the Lord, people. I don't really know the big debate between religion and science. You know, atheism's becoming quite cool in 2010. The big debate between religion and science. I would always take religion purely on a basic level. Remember at school, you know, science was quite difficult. Right? You had to read stuff and remember stuff, right? Whereas religious was a skive. Just some guilt-ridden middle-aged women reading passages from the Bible in a class full of hyperactive adolescents that's pissing themselves laughing at something that's been drawn on the blackboard. I'd like to believe in something. You don't just live and then die and then that's it, finished. I'd like to believe there's something bigger than this. No, I mean, it's hard. You think, where's the evidence? If there's a God, why is there so much evil in the world? Why is there famine, corruption, greed, stuff like that? And then you think, maybe you need to make up your own theories, right? I've combined a bit of religion, a bit of atheism, and came to my own conclusions. Maybe God created the world, but then he fucked off. He's God. He's going to have more than one property, isn't he? Maybe we've got the place to ourselves. We've got an empty. This is the world. And like all good empties, it's got a bit out of hand. That's why you've got terrorism, corruption, greed. Maybe God will come back one day and go look at the fucking state of this place. Everybody get out. The world leaders and corrupt bankers, people shuffling at the door going, sorry, we never thought you were coming back, mate. Sorry about the night. The Pope sitting there, the Pope knows he's getting grounded. I'll speak to you in a minute, Pope. Live and let live, that's the motto. Believe you, I believe, unless you're a dick. That's my motto. Believe you, I do. The election fever grip. Anybody vote in the election? Anybody get interested with a big election this year? I watched the three leadership debates and I thought, wow, I'm definitely going to draw a cock and balls on the ballot paper. It's quite good when Gordon Brown got caught on the microphone. No, they said he just got unlucky because the microphone just died as they get out of, they just managed to catch him saying what he said and he was talking about. I think he'd get pretty lucky if the microphone had stayed on. We'd have heard what he really thought. Not just some bigoted old woman, whose idea was that? Was that Sue's idea? Absolute disaster. Just a bigoted old woman. What she needed was a good fucking ride. That's what she needed. Eastern European immigrants, just a good cock, that's what she needs. You need Eastern European immigrants. I was in a party with Polish people. Now, there was one Polish guy, I was speaking to him, right? The Polish guy never spoke any English. Now, I don't speak much Polish, so it became apparent that a conversation would present some significant linguistical challenges. And I remembered I'd done some French when I was younger. French. Find the common denominator with the Polish guy. So I said, parlez-vous français? And the Polish guy says, oui. And I'm going, cool. See, parlez-vous français is kind of all I've got in the tank. But the Polish guy now thinks I speak French, so... He's going, je peux voir dans la toilette in the boulette? Oui? Next day, who told that Polish guy he could take a shite in the kettle? You need a bit of immigration in the world. Now you need a few asylum. I feel sorry for asylum seekers. Now you read about them. They get their applications get expelled. They get accused of lying about being in danger. I think if somebody's prepared to travel thousands of miles in the back of a lorry, starving themselves for weeks, risking their lives at the border controls just to get a council flat in Sight Hill, something's frightening the shite at them. Now the BNP this year, they get forced to allow non-white people to join the BNP. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd encourage people from every ethnic group to join the BNP. Now let's ruin their party. I'd love to live in a country where the white supremacists are black. I'm supposed to be racist. Who's this guy? How's he in my team? We would feed a bit of racial animosity in this city, in Glasgow, when we get our terrorist attack. Remember that? Glasgow airport, we got our own little terrorist attack. Pretty proud of that. Kind of put us on the map. Islamic fundamentalists attacked New York, Madrid, London, and then Glasgow. We were fucking flattered. My dad had a tear in his eye. It's a proud day, son. That's us on the telly. Look, I've been there. I went to the gym, the real gym, you know, the big, proper gym guys, the real fucking big tanks. This new breed of man that you get, you know, the big mammals, the big protein bastards, big... with a big beard covered in tattoos. They're going, mate, did I create you in a PlayStation game? They're big guys. They work in the car phone warehouse, but they're training for the apocalypse. These big... Convinced their best mate shagging their missus and they're training for the day they can finally prove it. I went in, and that's what puts fat people off the gym. These guys take it too far. These big, only God can judge me. I'm standing here judging you big fucking bell end. I went to the guy. I said, look, mate, I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. The guy goes, it's all about nutrition. All about nutrition. You can do whatever you want in here, but it's all about nutrition. You can't out-train a bad diet. And he asked me what I had for breakfast. He goes, what did you have for your breakfast this morning? Instantly, I'm thinking, I better say something that I never had for breakfast this morning. Make a good impression with this big fucking mammal. I said, oh, I had fruit, mate. A bowl of fruit. And the guy's going, fruit in the morning. That's got to go. Fruit in the morning. Very high in sugar. You need to lose that. I'm thinking, fruit, mate. Fruit. That's bad for you now. Fucking fruit. Fruit. I never had a bowl of fruit, but as far as you're aware, I did have a bowl of fruit. So I should be commended. I had a fucking Terry's chocolate orange, mate. You've no idea how low I would stoop for breakfast. Cold pashwari naan with Nutella on it. I've been there, mate. And you're on my case about fucking fruit. I used to have 4 raspberry ice bowls and a wham bar for breakfast, 8:30 every morning for 6 years. Then a rolling sausage at 10:30, a pizza crunch and chips at 12 o'clock, a can of Coke, then fucking Astra belts on the way home, fucking fizzy cola bottles, bikers, Johnny's onion rings, everything. And I would... I get home for crispy pancakes, oven chips, potato waffles, croquettes, yellow, mate. That was the only colour I would eat, yellow. And you're on my case about fruit. I never said that because the guy would punch fuck at me, but I was thinking that. I said, all right, I'll cut out the fruit. The guy gave me a diary to fill in, a food diary. That's a step too far, Johnny. Submitting handwritten lies to somebody. He's telling me all these foods to cut out carbohydrates. You should be eating this shit, eat this stuff, eat this sort of stuff. I'm filling in my food diary on the internet, reading about superfoods, trying to impress the big man. Monday morning, I had avocado. Here, what the fuck's avocado? In case this guy asks me. You have it on toast? Oh, he'll go off his head if I say toast. I just say I had avocado. How many? 5 avocado. Yeah, fuck it, I'll put 10. 10 avocado. Show the guy I'm serious about it. 10 avocado, Monday morning, breakfast. Then I had almonds and blueberries, and then I had beetroot. Beetroot, that's a superfood, isn't it? A big jar of beetroot, mate, get a spoon, rattled a lot. Then I had quinoa. Am I saying that right? Quinoa. What the fuck is quinoa? Quinoa? What the fuck is that? Click on images. It's a powder. Snorted a couple of lines of quinoa. And then I had oily fish, and I really felt it reducing my risk of Alzheimer's, mate. And the guy's going, this is great, Kev. Is this the truth? And I'm saying, no, mate, the truth would break your fucking heart. I'll tell you the truth. I lasted 2 meals without carbohydrates, and I thought I was going fucking insane. Never felt so angry. I had to get off the couch and just lie on the floor, staring at the ceiling, trying to take myself to a happier place. Fantasising about carbohydrates. I never knew what a carbohydrate was until you told me to cut them out and then you grassed them all up. I'm lying there. Oh, I would love a spaghetti toasty right now. How good would that be? Or a baked potato with rice in the middle. And I could put that on a sandwich, eh? When's the last time I had a piece and baked totty and rice, eh? With a wee spaghetti toasty chaser. Oh, yes. And I crumbled, mate. I went rampaging through my own kitchen, in the freezer. There was a tub of Ben & Jerry's that had been there for months. Now, because it had been there for so long, the little wooden spoon that you get inside a tub of Ben & Jerry's bent and snapped on impact with the ice cream. So I had to put the tub of Ben & Jerry's in the microwave. Now, I left it in the microwave a bit longer than I should have done, and the ice cream melted. So rather than just have a few wooden spoonfuls, as I had initially intended, I drank the fucking lot, mate. I never knew how to fit that into Monday evening's column.